What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Dad Needs to Talk. I'm your host, Robert, and today we got some stuff to catch up on and to talk about. I finally want to talk about watching Cross, The Madness, The Morning Show, as well as a little game called Minit. So, I hope everybody out there is doing well. And as always, if this is your first time here, then welcome. But if you're a returning listener and or watcher, then welcome back. Y'all know here at Daddy's to Talk, it's all about fatherhood and family, manga, anime TV shows, and of course, some video games. So I've been sitting here for close to an hour, was ready to go, and then I was trying to figure out the name of a show I wanted to at least like remember or make a note of. And then before I knew it, like 30 plus minutes done went by, and I'm like, I could have been done recording, but it happens, and hopefully that show comes into mind. But yeah, so like I said, hope everybody out there is doing well. My kids are about to go on Christmas break tomorrow, and they will be here for 2.5 weeks, I think. I'm looking at my calendar. Get out on the 20th, and they freaking go back on my birthday, January 6th. That is lovely. So yeah, so 2 weeks. Um, so yeah, so Christmas break is coming up. So early release from school tomorrow, which is also game day. So that adds an extra wrinkle into things. But yeah, so things overall, like I said, have been going pretty solid. Don't have too much to complain about. Uh, One thing I just got to pick on regarding not necessarily my kids, but just kids stuff in general in sports. So you know, we had we had the game Tuesday, or whatever. Like like across the board, all of the teams, because all the boys and girls from freshman, JV, varsity, all teams played at home this week or whatever, and all the teams like blew out who we were playing against. Like my daughter on JV, they beat them. They beat their opponent by like 40 something points. My son beat them by like 10, 15 points. My other daughter beat them by like 20 plus points. So it was just demolition across the board. But I had a moment where like during my son's game, the other team, they got a fast break. A kid went up and dunked. They got hype, whatever. But it reminded me, and I don't think I got to talk about this on the podcast, but a few weeks ago we were playing out of town, and this game my son and them were just like destroying the other team. We were up by like 20 plus points. And so, like earlier in the game, a little bit earlier in the game, kid goes up to dunk and just chokes on the rim, bad. But all the teammates came over there and they team getting hyped, like he made the dunk, or it was like he missed a wide open dunk, and they all like, yeah, yeah, that's my boy, high fiving, chest bumping and stuff, and it's like if we pull some of that crap back in the day, like we down by a lot, and you miss a wide open dunk, boop, sub, get him off the court. And then like a quarter or so later, um, same thing, almost a wide open dunk. Dude goes to the dunk, ball flies away, didn't make it, whatever. Say that, yeah. It's like y'all are down by like 20 plus points, and you missing wide open dunks. I don't know if that's whatever. Hey, if that's what you want to celebrate, cool. But yeah, I just found those couple moments just very funny, just thinking about, like I said, just like stuff I know, I know growing up, whatever. If we get our butts beat and then you try to show off with a dunk and you miss horribly, sub, get them off the court. But anywho, so yeah, so school is out tomorrow, and then we're gonna be getting ready for Christmas break, and also getting ready for my other niece, my sister's oldest daughter, to have her baby soon. So a lot of things going on family wise and stuff. But yeah, 'tis the season. So I'm gonna go and dive right into this stuff or whatever, because I didn't have too much, life stuff to catch up on, and it's already 11 o'clock, so I wasted a hour trying to find this TV show. But just a few things I just want to just shout out before I get into like the main things I want to talk about. So for my manga fans, this weekend is gonna be a Jump Festa. So this Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we're probably gonna get a lot of manga and anime news coming out from the Jump Festa event, which is gonna be very exciting and stuff. So just want to put that on y'all's radar. Today we got a new trailer, our first like lengthy trailer for the new James Gunn's Superman movie coming out next summer. So pretty excited to go and watch that. I already kind of got it. So okay, it's coming out July of next year. So I'm trying to put some coins to the side, take me some of my kids. Ideally, I would love to go and see that in IMAX if possible, or Dolby, one of them, whatever. Because I remember, and I talked about this back when I did it, but like some years back when the Batman came out, me and my oldest son when he saw that in IMAX and just like the sound and stuff, whatever, for that was awesome. So I can only imagine same thing with uh, the Superman movie. So hopefully, I can have some coins put to the side and we can go and see that sucker in IMAX and stuff. So, but yeah, just wanted to shout out those couple of things. And aside from that, I don't have like too much manga stuff I would normally talk about. So I'll just kind of just shout out and just say that I'm slowly making my way through Vinland Saga book. What is this? Book 13. I'm like really taking my time. Like I really slowed down because like them other ones I flew through, but I am purposely trying to savor this simply because the next book isn't coming out until I think like next summer. And then after that, it's gonna be another probably 2026 when we get the final. Because I know the manga is pretty close to ending, and so, yeah, so we'll probably, because that's 13, 14, so we'll probably get, it probably be 15 books total when it's all said and done. But yeah, so still reading Villain Saga. Just read the new Kaiju number 8 chapter. Kind of interested to see where things are going with that. A few new manga that I read. I'm not gonna go into in depth on them, or whatever. These are gonna be some stuff I'm gonna review soon, and then this will probably be stuff y'all will see sometime in January. But just to shout them out, so one of them is a Firefly Wedding, and it basically is following this this girl who has a she's of noble descendants or whatever. So like her dad is a noble or something, whatever. But she has like a very bad life-threatening heart condition or whatever. But they're trying to find somebody for her to marry and things like that or whatever. So and she ends up in a situation where she ends up in a proposal with her would-be assassin. So, but that was a pretty interesting read. Like I said, I'll talk more on that another time. The other two that I read recently was this one called I Picked Up This World Strategy Guide, which this one is basically it basically seems like this girl is basically a character or an NPC within a video game, and she ended up finding the guidebook for her world because she discovers this book randomly, and it has very detailed information about everything like friends and family, things in her town, where hidden items and stuff are, and so that was kind of a little fun and interesting read. And then the other one was Takahashi from the Bike Shop. This is a very nice and wholesome, kind of like a romance manga that basically follows this 30-year-old lady who she's kind of tired of like her normal day-to-day job and stuff, whatever, and she ends up meeting this guy at the because she's 30, this guy he's I think 26, but he works at a bike shop, and so she ended up, her bike that she travels around to work and different stuff, whatever, ended up needing some repairs, and they end up meeting through the bike shop and then kind of hitting it off and kind of going from there. So this was a really fun, really wholesome one that I'm glad I checked out. And like I said, I'm gonna talk more in depth on it later on. But this is definitely one that I'm like, okay, I'm glad I gave this one a shot because even just like from the cover of it caught my eye. And then when I read the synopsis, when it said, from unwanted advances from her boss and work dumped onto her by coworkers, 30-year-old Hano, or Panko for short, struggles to stand up for herself. But when her rusty bike breaks down, she meets Takahashi from the neighborhood bike repair shop. Although he can be a bit overbearing, Panko finds herself relying on his considerate nature, and her world begins to shift. So this was a very nice, wholesome one. It's always nice, when we can get some more, adult romance stuff, whatever, with some more, mature characters and stuff. So, but yeah, like I said, that'll be stuff y'all probably see more in depth on in the coming weeks, whatever. So, but just wanted to shout them out, that I checked them out and that I enjoyed all of those. So yeah. So let's go ahead and dive into this game I want to talk about really quickly. Let's see. Okay, so Minit is a kind of a. I think the best way to kind of describe it is kind of like it's top down perspective, all black and white, and it's kind of just like a very simple like adventure kind of like puzzle style game. And this is one I've heard about bits and pieces over the years, and obviously it sticks out just because of the art style and stuff, whatever. And so it was like on like a ridiculous sale for like a few bucks, and collectively the game is only like a few hours long. But the premise of it is that you basically find this cursed sword on the beach. Like, so the game just kind of starts you off as this little character. You're walking around, you find this sword, and basically, if you as you play, there is a constant timer, a 1 minute timer up in the corner of the screen. And so basically, you are just seeing, okay, how far can I go? What can I figure out with the time that I have? And so, yeah, it's like I said, it's a very simple premise, but very engaging though, just because it's like okay, you're kind of learning and figuring out how to best use your time efficiently. And so, yeah, like I said, it's only a few hours long. It's like what How Long the Beat says, 4 hours for 100% completionist, but like main story plus some sides is maybe 2 hours long. And this was one that I played because, I've talked about it before with my family and life schedule, whatever. I don't get to play games very often, if any. And so this was kind of one that just over a maybe like I think maybe like over the course of like a few weeks or whatever, as time allowed, I played like bits and pieces of it, maybe like 10, 15 minutes or so here and there or whatever. But it was very um enjoyable as like a bite-sized type of experience. And so yeah, it like I said, it was just like really engaging, just playing through this and just slowly discovering more and more of the map in the world, and kind of, when the timer, is like ticking, that's like those final 10 seconds, just kind of like, okay, rushing, okay, let me see how many more screens I can get through, whatever, to at least like get an idea of like, okay, next run, all right, I need to just beeline and go to here or whatever. And I will kind of say, because you would be kind of, okay, like, how far can you really get within a minute? Well, there are other kind of like safe houses, so to speak, whatever, that you find throughout the map. And so basically, whenever you find those new camps or new houses or whatever, whenever you die, that becomes your next starting point. And there is, like I said, way more to it, but I don't want to, expose too much water because, like I said, with it only being a few hours long, but yeah, like I said, I just wanted just to show some love to this game because, like I said, because this came out originally what in 2018, and here I am in 2024, just now playing it. But it's games like this that I enjoy discovering, and that's why I love kind of just like browsing through the different online marketplaces and stuff, and just kind of seeing what's on there because like I said, it's stuff you might see in passing, but maybe just I don't want to pay full price, or you just might not be interested at the time, whatever. Hey, bookmark it, wish list it, whatever, and then come back to it whenever it's cheaper. Because what? Because right now on Steam it's $2.49, and I think, and I played it on PS5, and yeah, so it was only like I said, only a few bucks, whatever. So, but definitely, money well spent, and definitely one that I would encourage if you're looking for, like I said, something just like very bite sized and fun, and unique. And the name definitely makes sense now, it being called Minute, because you have a minute to kind of play through and make progress and stuff. So, but uh, but yeah, so shout out to that game. Aside from that, I haven't really been playing too many other games lately. Because I really, for some reason, I really am getting the itch to play Lies of P. That one has been on my radar for quite a while recently, whatever. And I had re-downloaded and updated the demo I had downloaded last year, whatever, and was kind of playing through that maybe like a month or so ago. And I was like, okay, I think I really, really, really want to try to get into this, but I've been trying to wait for like a really good sale on it or whatever, because it's gotten down to maybe like $40 or whatever. But I think if, or maybe like 35 or something or whatever. So it's getting to that point where that might be, I think that might be what I might ask for my if not Christmas present, maybe my birthday present, some Lies of P. Just because that game is just like really speaking to me, because I don't play many like Souls like games, especially nowadays, just because I got too many distractions to like really focus in on that stuff, whatever. But I loved Bloodborne a lot, and even back when I played the demo for this last year, whatever, just like the character animations and different motions and stuff, whatever, was like really speaking to that side of me, and just the fact that Lies of P, is basically kind of like a Bloodborne, but just kind of centered around like a freaking like Pinocchio, kind of like a puppet uh, theme and stuff. So, but yeah, this is definitely one that I really want to uh, get to and check out and stuff. So, cause just for about 30 to 50 hours roughly. And I really want to experience it myself before I get spoiled, because I've heard that hey, it has a very dope twist and ending and stuff, whatever. And so that is definitely something that I would hope and like to see for myself, before like whatever DLC that they're planning to come out, or maybe a future sequel, whatever the case may be. So that one's really high on my list. And then and Stellar Blood is kind of the other one that's kind of floating out there, but not as high on like a priority thing. But yeah, so that's kind of all I'm kind of looking at game wise. So I think I'm going to start diving into some of these TV shows. Uh, so yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and talk about this one first, just to kind of get it out the way and stuff. Ooh, do not want no spoilers. I do not want spoilers for this. I do not want spoilers. Spoiling myself on this, so hold on. Okay, so the morning show. So this is one that I've heard about here and there, but didn't really know too much about it. I've heard that some people like the show, and so the other day, so I do got a shout out. So I can't remember if I talked about it last time or not, but I did start watching Silo season 2 on Apple TV. Super happy that I started watching it, that I caught up with it, or whatever. Shout out to the homie Polo from Mike Check Waifu podcast, because found out that he's also watching it. So shout out to you, Polo. I know you listen from time to time. But yeah. So while I was I caught up on that or whatever. I think there's I gotta watch a new episode of that thing either tonight or tomorrow. But that's beside the point. So I'm browsing through whatever, because I was like, okay, I want something. I want just look for other stuff to just kind of check out, because I'm still kind of haven't gotten back in the groove to watch anime and stuff yet. So I've really been watching a lot of like just regular like live action TV stuff, whatever. And so I was like, you know what, that morning show thing, let me check it out and see what it's about. And so I've watched all of season one, which I think was 10 episodes. And so the best way I could describe this is for anybody that has watched The Bear on Hulu, which is another fantastic show. So basically, you know how like in The Bear, that kind of gives like a really deeper look into basically what it's like to run a restaurant and work in that industry and stuff, whatever, and like a lot of the drama and stuff that goes along with it. The morning show is pretty much like The Bear, but for TV production stuff, whatever. And so it basically the basic setup for this one. So the two kind of like main characters of this is Jennifer Aniston and Reese Witherspoon. And so basically Jennifer Aniston and then shoot, who was her co-host? Uh Shoot, how can I forget his name? Steve Carell. They basically were like two uh talk show hosts, part of like basically like a Good Morning America type of show or whatever, where you know they've been the co-host of the show for like 15 plus years or something crazy, whatever. But basically, a scandal happens with the guy's character, whatever, and he ends up getting, you know, removed from the show, whatever, and they end up having to, you know, find a new host and all that stuff, whatever. But it was just, I don't know, just like the drama and everything that goes on there. Like I said, from watching The Bear to now watching this, it's like, man, I would not want to run a restaurant and I would not want to work in TV production just because it's like, man, like seeing like the 3:30 a.m. alarm, them getting up, getting ready, going in, doing the show early in the morning, and just like all the different logistics and stuff going on with all the people that help putting the shows and different segments and stuff together and everything in between, and then it's trying to live your personal life, but then you're also very famous and da 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 da. So, anywho, all that to say, I really enjoyed that first season, and so I don't know. So I started watching season two. I got it because season one is like such a, just like a balls to the wall, hard hitting, just like drama, 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 drama from start to finish. Whatever. It was like whoa, but it was good. And then, you know, after the aftermath of season one, now coming into season two, it was a little bit different trying to get into watching that or whatever. And so far, it just hasn't really been jiving with me, which, you know, it kind of makes sense too uh, because so season two was kind of happening around the time COVID started. And so that was kind of like a plot point that they were starting at the beginning of season two. And I was kind of like, I don't know, you know, I might try to push through, but just like as of right now, I've, I'm not, it doesn't have me as strongly invested as season one did from start to the end. But, you know, I'm going to circle back to it later on. But I think right now I might kind of just like pause on it and check out some other stuff, whatever. But yeah, but I just definitely just wanted to kind of give a shout out to the morning show because, like I said, it was just something a little bit different that, like I said, I've always heard about and was like, you know what, I'm gonna give this a shot, and so I'm glad I did. But like I said, we'll see how season two shapes up, and then going into season three. And speaking of multiple seasons, so going back to Silo real quick. So like I said, season two is airing right now. And the cool thing is that season two is going to go into like mid January, and then pretty much the same time Silo is ending, Severance season two is going to be starting. So it's going to be like a smooth, just like baton pass of those two shows, which is going to be super awesome. But I bring that up to mention that they already renewed Silo for two more seasons. So, and they said that's going to be it. So they're pretty much going to try to adapt all of the books and stuff into these four seasons of the show. So very excited to see more of this because, like I said, Solo's been really, really good. But moving on from that, so we have a couple of shows here that I want to touch on, and I want to say, and I'm gonna say again, kind of I mentioned this a few weeks back, but shout out to getting more diversity of shows for people that look like me, uh, coming up as far as like detective and thrillers and dramas and different stuff like that or whatever. Because the thing that first got my attention and it still hasn't came out yet. It's a show called Paradise coming out in January. That's going to be starring Sterling K. Brown. And so when I was watching the trailer for that, people had mentioned two other shows, Cross and then The Madness, uh, which let me show y'all real quick. Cross and The Madness. So like I said, Paradise that's going to be on Hulu in January. Uh, the Madness is on Netflix, and Cross is on Amazon Prime. So I'm going to start with Cross because this was my favorite of the two. So Cross, from my understanding, this is based off of a series of novels about a detective named Alex Cross. And so he is played by Aldous Hodge. And basically, like I said, he is a homicide detective who is also a psychologist, I believe. And so it follows him in the aftermath of basically he's raising his kids kind of like as almost like a single father because his wife was murdered. And so he's raising his two kids, a son and a daughter, with his grandmother. He lives with his grandmother because she's also the one that kind of raised him growing up and stuff. So in a nutshell, this is basically just like a crime thriller series, and he's had some kind of like anger issues and stuff over time, whatever. And so he's kind of thinking about maybe it's time to take some leave for a little bit or whatever, and just kind of like work through some things, figuring himself out or whatever. But then a major murder happens that he ends up kind of getting pulled in on as a detective, and things kind of take off from there. So one thing that I really enjoyed about this show, and I'm gonna say this is that I'm gonna keep it kind of light so that y'all can go and check this out for yourself. But one thing I enjoyed about this show is that there is, a murder happening or a serial killer, I guess I should say, out there. And it's a situation of as things go on and you're kind of piecing together clues or whatever, it's a situation where Alex Cross, and the murderer end up knowing about each other. So it kind of reminds me of like a freaking a light and an L situation from Death Note, to where it's like okay, eventually there was a kind of a point where they both knew of each other, or whatever, and it was kind of like trying to figure out how to outsmart and outplay each other, whatever. And so that's kind of like a situation that's going on here where it's a while before it's all kind of the pieces put together, but I do also like that there is a point where we as viewers know who the killer and stuff is, and then it just makes it that much more satisfying whenever Cross figures it out, and then there ends up being those kind of like face to face interactions and stuff, whatever, where it's kind of like a trying to bait you to slip up and different things like that or whatever. So, but all in all, this one it was 8 episodes. I enjoyed it from start to finish, whatever. Just like I said, just like the cat and mouse games and the some stuff Cross getting there like just a moment too late before like another key witness or part of the plot kind of gets taken out of the equation or killed or whatever. It's like okay, he's finally gonna get there in time, and then it's like something happens, and it's like dang it, just you know the uh, the villain escapes again. But yeah, so shout out to Cross. Like I said, I don't have like too much in depth to say because, like I said, I highly encourage y'all to go and check this out. But yeah, this one was so good. I binged the heck out of this, and like I said, this is on Amazon Prime. So next up, transitioning from Cross. So this next one, so the Madness. I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't that hot on it, but I think this might have been more so a case of just me and personal preference and stuff, whatever. Especially because I watched this directly after watching Cross. So like I watched Cross over the course of a few days and then like almost immediately dove into the Madness. And so the Madness is on Netflix. It stars Coleman Domingo. And so uh he is a media pundit named Muncie Daniels, who basically he's like a talk show host and stuff, whatever. Does like a lot of like political takes and different things like on CNN and stuff or whatever like that. And so he ends up in a situation where he is out at a cabin in the woods trying to go out there to just get some time away, go to write, and just kind of like unwind or whatever. And he ends up getting tangled up in a murder that happens out in the area. And of course, it's an isolated area. He's a black man. The person that got killed is a white dude. You can kind of see where I'm going with this. And so, thus, the adventure goes on with him trying to figure out who the murderer is and how to clear his name, and also kind of like keeping his family and stuff safe because he has a ex-wife and son that that he doesn't live with, but it's kind of a situation where he's this well-known celebrity, so to speak, or whatever. And so he's living in big fancy condos and driving a freaking Range Rover and just all this, nice lifestyle or whatever, while, the ex-wife and the son, they're kind of, where they are, struggling a little bit, trying to make ends meet and stuff, whatever like that. And so I think, like I said, I think that, and I have seen that people do enjoy this, but I definitely feel like me watching this directly after Cross hurt my viewing experience because you go from watching Cross, who is a homicide detective and a psychologist, who is like the way he is like breaking down and finding clues and piecing things together, whatever, versus this guy who is a media pundit, fumbling his way through these things, whatever. Like, honestly, it was kind of funny in a way because it is like, dude, you're not good at trying to be a detective and trying to track this down, because it's like you're not stealthy, being a not only a well-known black man, but a black man going into these overwhelmingly predominant white neighborhoods, driving your Range Rover. You're not stealthing and sneaking up on nobody, buddy. And so I just found that part just kind of just like funny by comparison or whatever, because like I said, like Detective Cross, he's driving like a freaking I don't think it was like a Mustang or whatever, but or a Charger or something like that or whatever. And then you got this guy who's a media guy, a wealthy media guy, celebrity, and he's driving a Range Rover around trying to solve crimes and all this stuff, whatever. So, but like I said, it was okay, but definitely not my favorite. This is one that, like I said, I feel like if I would have gave ample space and time and maybe like watch something else in between, that this might have hit and connected with me a bit more. But just as far as like out of this and Cross is a clear winner for me. But I have seen plenty of people say that they did enjoy the Madness. So, to each their own. And I am looking forward to in January, like I said earlier, uh, checking out checking out Paradise, because Sterling K. Brown, fantastic actor. Actually, let me see. Paradise. Yeah, Paradise 2025. Here it is. Yeah, so very much, very much looking forward to this. January 28th, so the freaking very end of January. And this is a security service. Oh, okay. Yeah, so his situation is going to be he was a security service guy, and and he's on the team tasked with protecting the president. And then I think that the president either got murdered or something, whatever, and he was seemingly the last person that saw him before he died or went missing, whatever situation is or whatever. And so that's kind of where his kind of like drama thriller stuff kind of comes into play with on that. So very interested to check that out. So, but yeah, but like I said, it feels like we're in like a new renaissance of, because like I said, just the fact that like back to back to back, we got freaking Cross, the Madness, and we got Paradise coming with, some very dope black leads, and then there's been some other shows too that I kind of want to shout out as well that are kind of on my radar. So there was one. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Okay, so this is another new one. I haven't watched this one yet, but I came across it on HBO Max the other day, though. So this one is called Get Millie Black. And the synopsis for this is also a crime drama. An ex Scotland Yard detective returns to Kingston, Jamaica to work in missing persons and finds herself on a quest to solve a case that will blow her world apart. So, yeah, so we got another one starring a very dope black lead, and so that's definitely on my list to check out. Though that one just started airing, so I think it's only got a few episodes out so far. So I might either wait till that's all the way done or close to done to hop on that one. But yeah, that's one, and then there's another one that I can't freaking find or remember what it is. Let me see if I can try to find it real quick. Okay, finally, I found it. It is called The Day of the Jackal. And the reason I couldn't freaking find it or remember what it was because it's on freaking Peacock. Because I'm checking Hulu, I'm checking Netflix, I'm checking uh, Max, and I'm like, I know I saw it somewhere. I forgot my wife uh, was using a friend's Peacock account or whatever, and I was like, oh, and because the reason why I remember, and the actress name is Lashana Lynch, and I was like, okay, I'm trying to think. I was like, okay, where else have I seen her in or whatever? And so I'm going through the stuff, whatever, and so I was thinking something Marvel related. So obviously I looked up Black Panther because I'm like, hey, there's a higher than 50% chance that she might have been in that movie, and I don't think she was, but she was in the Marvels. But she was also in The Woman King with Viola Davis, because that's what I meant. Cause I was like, for some reason, Woman King was popping up, and I looked up that, looked at cast, boom, found her. Now I found this. But yeah, The Day of the Jackal. So pretty much, the synopsis of it. So it's a spy action drama thriller, whatever. So the Jackal is an elusive assassin who makes his living carrying out hits for the highest fee. He soon meets his match in a tenacious British intelligence officer who tracks him down in a thrilling cat and mouse chase across Europe. So so yeah, that's another one I want to check out. They just finished up season one, which was 10 episodes, and they already renewed it for season two coming out next year. So I'm definitely gonna check that out or whatever. So, but yeah, this was the other one I was trying to think of. But yeah, all in all though, like I said, just wanted just a shout out. Like I said, some very awesome drama, thriller, action stuff, whatever, for people that look like me or whatever, or with star actors and actresses that look like me and stuff, whatever, which is always a nice little bonus to see some variety in the things that that we are in and stuff. So, but yeah, so I think that might be it, honestly, y'all, because I didn't have a heck of a lot to really talk about. Because, like I said, I was just really excited to touch on Minute and Cross and Madness and a little bit of the morning show. But yeah, I think that might be it. Um, I do. So as I'm wrapping up, whatever, I want to shout out something, whatever. So I looked up and I found, because just like how there's a Spotify Wrapped and all this stuff, whatever. So there's one for content creators that are on YouTube, whatever. So I found mine, and I just want to say thank you to everybody on across the board, but just for this part specifically, the people that are on YouTube, whatever. Because even though, and I mentioned this before recently, but it's like I feel like this wasn't my best year for me personally. I feel like whatever, but despite that or whatever, y'all still showed up and supported me and stuff. So far, I had got 67 new subscribers this year and about 9,424 views on across the YouTube channel. So yeah, I super appreciate everybody that's here. Like I said, whether you've been here for some years or you're a new person that joined along the way, I super appreciate you. And looking forward to hopefully a bigger and better 2025, which I'll talk about that um, in the coming weeks as we go to wrap up the year. But yeah, so now that I got these shows off my mind, because I was like, oh Lord, because it's literally probably been about a month since I watched Cross and the Madness, because I watched that stuff like a little bit before Thanksgiving or whatever. So I'm like, ooh, I really want to talk about this stuff, but it's about to leave my brain. But hey, luckily it stuck around long enough. But uh, but yeah, so as the year is kind of winding down and stuff, whatever. So I'm honestly not sure what I'm gonna do as far as like any type of like favorites of the year thing, whatever. I don't know. I might do some stuff, whatever, just to kind of like highlight some manga and shows and movies and stuff, whatever like that, just to kind of just give some brief, quick shout outs on different things I've gotten to watch, read, play, etc., this year. But we'll see how my scheduling stuff, whatever feels. But I'm trying to think if like there was something else I was going to add on to that part. Da, 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 da. I don't know. It left my brain if there was something. But yeah, so I'm gonna finish this up because it is almost midnight, and I'm gonna go chill for a little bit before I hop in bed because it's gonna be a busy day tomorrow. So I'll get this up as soon as I can in the morning, but I'll get everything uploaded and stuff so I can work on it a little bit at work in the morning and stuff. But yeah, I think that might do it for this episode. Yeah, I'm supposed to wrap it up because the last little note I'll just shout out to Yukimura, the author of In the Saga, because I had Twitter open off to my side and he had made a post where he says the serialization of Vinland Saga will end soon, but well, I know I'm complaining after the hiatus, but it's hard to end a story. Come to think of it, I've only drawn the final episode once. This is the second time. It's really amazing that my predecessors were able to finish long serializations right to the end. I respect them for that alone. And then this other piece of his post, I aim for all readers to close the book thinking, I'm glad I read it, but I guess there's no ending that satisfies everyone. People are different after all, but I will try my best to think it through and come up with an ending that suits this story. So, yeah, I feel like that's a fine place to wrap up this episode. So, Vinland Saga is ending, and he's trying to figure out the plot, a great way to land the plane. So it's been one heck of a journey, but just like this year has been one heck of a journey. But with that being said, you can find me everywhere at Dad Needs to Talk, and let's end the show with a bang. So, or this year with a bang. So, as if I don't put out another episode before Christmas, I'll say Happy Holidays, Merry Christmas, etc., etc. To everybody out there, thank you for a fantastic year. And like I said, I plan on doing my farewell episode that I do every New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, or whatever, where I do like a farewell to the year, where I kind of look back and rethink and reflect on the year itself, and then look forward to the coming year. But but yeah, with that being said, as I always say, treat yourself to something nice. read some manga, watch some anime TV shows and movies, play some video games, and of course, live your best life. And with that, I am out. I hope y'all have an awesome night, day, whatever time zone, whatever you're in. And I will catch y'all on the next one. Y'all be easy. Peace.